In the previous modules, we have learned that when I apply some force to an object, the speed of that object increases. Or in other words, if that object is at rest, just like this stationary chair here, if I apply some force, the chair should start moving. And without the application of any force, so if there is no force being applied, then that object should remain in its state. So if it is already in rest, the object will remain rest when no force is being applied, or if it is moving, it should remain moving if no force is being applied. Also, we've learnt about the concept of balanced and unbalanced forces, where we know that balanced forces cause no motion, whereas unbalanced forces cause motion. So here I have a chair, and let me try to apply some force on this chair in that direction. So we know that because we are applying a force in that direction, I should get a motion in that direction. But see what happens when I apply a little amount of force. See, I'm leaning against this, so you can be sure that I'm applying some force, but the chair isn't moving. So why is that happening? See, I'm pushing it, but the chair doesn't move. So we know that because I am applying some force, yet the chair is not moving, therefore the forces on this chair should be balanced, because only under balanced forces is there no motion. If the forces are unbalanced, the chair should have moved, but that is not the case, right? So the force must be balanced. So what are the various forces being involved here? Let us look at them. So the first force is obviously the force that I apply in that direction, but there has to be some other force that is countering or cancelling my force, and that's why we are getting balanced forces, right? For us to have balanced forces, we should have opposite and equal forces. So if I have a force acting in that direction, okay, which I am applying, there should be some force which is acting in this direction and is equal to the force that I apply. Only then we have balanced forces. So what is this mysterious force that is opposing the force that I apply? Well, the straightforward answer to that is friction. We call that force friction. What is friction? Friction is a force that opposes motion, and it occurs due to the contact between two objects. So here the chair is in contact with the ground, and therefore there is some frictional force between the ground and the chair that is stopping it from moving, and that frictional force is opposing the force that I apply. So it is acting in this direction, whereas my force is acting in that direction, and the frictional force is equal to the force that I apply. So in order for me to get some net force or some net unbalanced force in that direction, so that I can move the chair in that direction, I need to apply a force greater than the frictional force. So if the frictional force, maximum frictional force is 5 newtons, then I should be applying more than 5 newtons to get some motion in that direction. So I have to overcome friction, and only then can I make the chair move. So that is the basic idea behind friction. And just like friction, we have many other resistive forces around us. Why are they called resistive forces? Well, because they resist motion. So friction is one of the resistive forces because it resists motion. It stops motion from occurring. So if there was no friction, even if I had given a slight little push, this should have moved. But because there is friction, if I give it some small amount of push, it will not move. I need to give it a larger push to overcome friction. And also, when I push the chair, it will come to a stop itself. Why? Because friction is stopping it. It's not coming to rest on its own. It's the friction that is stopping it. And that is why the idea that most objects come to rest is wrong, because most objects do not come to rest on their own, but they come to rest because of the frictional force that stops them. So again, it's the force that is stopping them. So that is the idea behind friction. And just like friction, we have other resistive forces like air resistance. What is air resistance? It is the resistance to motion that is due to the air present around us. So if I move this chair around like this, there are air particles around me, and those air particles are sort of stopping the motion of this chair, but that is not so clear in this. And the main resistive force that we encounter is friction, and that is and that is the reason why when you push the pencil in that tub of water, a container of water, the pencil slowed down, or the piece of wood, whatever you have taken, it slowed down because the friction between the pencil and the surface of water. So the surface of water resisted motion, and that's why the pencil slowed down. If there was a perfectly smooth surface which had no friction, we would have got no resistance, and it would have moved with the same speed throughout the surface. So that's the basic idea between friction and other resistive forces, and that is what causes objects to slow down. And yeah, that's it for this video.